So hello everyone, this is Rakshit Raj, and today we are discussing the LeetCode question number 326, power of 3. So the question here says, given an integer n, return true if it is a power of 3, otherwise return false. An integer n is a power of 3 if there exists an integer x such that n is equal to 3 to the power x. So the question here wants to say that if we have been given an integer n, and you have to find out that whether it can be represented as 3 raised to some power something. As we can see in the example number 1, if the number n is 27, we can represent it as 3 to the power 3. Another example is n equal to 0. We can't return any example like that 3 raised to something is 0, so I have written false. Again we can see the example number 3 that input is a negative number, and a negative number can't be represented as a power of 3. So what we can do in this question is we can think of an approach in which what we can do that first we'll have a condition that whether the number is a negative or a positive number. If the number is a negative number, we'll return false. So if the number is a positive number, what we can do that we'll divide 3 till the number is divisible by 3, and at last when the loop is over, we'll check that if the number is 1 or not, because at last the quotient of the if the number can be represented as the number power of 3, then at last its quotient would be 1. So we'll check like that, and if it is equal to 1, it is true, and if it is not, then we'll return false. So let's move on to the code part here first. So first of all, we'll have a if condition which will check the number is a positive number or not. So n is less than or equal to 0, then if it is, then we'll return false here. After that, we'll have a while loop which will check that if n modulus 3 equal to 0, that means if the number n is divisible by 3 or not. If not, then it will skip the while loop, or if yes, it will go in the while loop, and then what we'll do here is we'll divide it by 3. We'll do it until it is divisible by 3. Then at last we'll have a condition that if n is equal to 1, we'll return true, else return false. So that was all for the code part here. So now we'll see that it passes the test cases here or not. And yes, it passes all the test cases. Now we'll submit the question, and that was all for the question here. Thank you.